Hi everyone and welcome. I'm popping on just a minute early so that we have time for everybody to get on and when we're going to share here. My name is Lillian and with Stampers Niche, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Alberta, Canada. And today I'm coming to you at a special time because the new mini catalog went live. And for me, there's nothing better than being able to share with somebody else a new catalog, because what I notice isn't necessarily what they notice, and what they notice isn't necessarily what I notice. And sometimes you just get so excited you have to say, did you see this? Or look at that. So that's sort of the purpose and theme of this today. So that being said, please make sure that you take time to write down and enter in the comments things that you notice, because it might be something that somebody else hasn't noticed, or maybe they want to say, yeah, I saw that too. Isn't that neat? I'm so glad it's there. So make sure you jot notes in the comments about what you're excited about, what you have noticed, and maybe what you missed and didn't see until today. So get your pencils and pens, get out your catalogs, and let's have a look-see at it all together. So let's go down to my desktop, and whoops, there we go. Well, come on, there we go. Now it's going down. And if you don't have something you're all excited about seeing in the mini catalog right now, take a moment and just share where you're watching from and say hi, that kind of thing, while I get to my technology functioning, I hope. There we go. We'll go like that. So, just something that you are excited to see, you were surprised to see, or you are just noticing. All right, we are going to get this. Here we go. We're getting it up on, trying to make sure things are straight, but they don't seem to be real straight. Let's see here. There, that's looking better to me. Maybe that'll look better to you as well. All righty. So the whole theme, as I just said, is, did you see this? And it's something we can share back and forth. So this is the catalog we're talking about. If you don't have it, you can always see it online. But if you don't have it and you live in Canada and would love a copy of it, please contact me and I can get it to you as well. So let's look it up. Open it up, pardon me, and see what's inside. So with my catalogs, I did a did you see this sheet, and when you were looking at some of the ads for today, you likely saw the link so that you could download this. So we're going to use this as our little guide, and we're going to start here. It says page 3, and one of the things that did you see this is that we're going to do is just remember to look at these catalog icons. So sometimes you'll see these symbols in the catalog and you think, what are they for? Well, here is what they're for. So here's where you can save 10%. Here is that it's in 2 different languages. The clock one means it's quick and easy. So that is another good thing to know. So make sure to check that out. And then as we go along, we're going to stop right here, right off the bat, because this is an important item right here. So I would love for you to really take a good look at this. This paper here, not only is it really nice paper, but $4 from the sale of each of these packages of paper is going towards, well, let's just read it here. It's going towards providing support for those in need in our area. And so in Canada, it's going to go to the Salvation Army so they can provide support for those in need. So Stampin' Up! Loves to make a difference, loves to give back to the community, and this is one way that they are going to do it. So it's a money gift that you will help support just by buying that paper. Now, I have samples for lots of things today, and I have one little sample here. This has the designer paper being used there, and you're going to see lots more samples. I'm just going to put that sample to the side, and we're going to flip over. I want to point out that not all of Stampin' Up's products are in catalogs. Some are on online exclusives, so make sure to check that out. And you think I'm going to point out some goodies that you might have missed, Karen? Well, I think you might point out some to me that I might have missed too. So jot down things in the comments as we go along. Alrighty. So just going along, we're going to stop at this page here. And the reason I kept this card out is they combined that paper with this here. So this is a really, really neat bundle. And I'm going to explain one of the things that I think is neat about it. The dies here cut out the different layers of this tree. So you can cut out the tree as whole. You can just stamp the tree and it looks great. You can have a die that cuts out the tree, or you can have a die that cuts out these 4 layers, or these 3, or these 2, or this 1. So you can make a dimensional tree. You can make little trees, medium-sized trees. You can do all kinds of things with that. You can add detail with this. So it's a really neat tree type of stamp, and I think there's tons of potential there. And while we're here, did you notice this little die here? Yes, it's not a little die, pardon me. It's a big die, and it's about the size of a card front, and it cuts out all those little trees, which creates a great background, but it also creates great confetti. Or you can use these little trees as little accents on a card or a paper crafting project, and it's absolutely fabulous. The other thing I wanted to point out is this little treat bag here. So if you watched my Facebook Live Monday, I showed you about these treat bags. Well, look what they've done. They've taken the treat bag, they've used their ruler, and they've used a marker. I'm just going to grab one, and they've drawn in extra lines to create the reds and greens here to make it more festive. So if you wanted to make it more fallish, you could add maybe some of your pumpkin pie and your copper clay, that kind of thing. So just another idea there. So while we're here, whoops, I should maybe back up just one smidge, because I wanted to show you this paper. I've shown you all the designer paper before, so but I just wanted to point out, because here's a card that is made with that designer paper. So notice the trees going that way and the fa la 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 la. So I just thought that was a cute idea there. Now, where did these things come from on the card? They came from here. I just love this stamp set. Now, I did not make all the samples I'm showing you today. I've been involved in card swaps, and Patty Wright made this one. So I am benefiting from having exchanged cards with lots of other people. Another one from here is this one here. And again, I used the Merriam Bright paper a few pages back, and this one right here. So just a fun stamp set that goes, you can make long cards or tall cards, and you've got little pieces and little big ones, and you could do it in black and white as well if you're not a colorer. It's just great. So this suite here, absolutely stunning. It just sort of catches your eye as you go along. I have shown you many things from here, and I'm just going to continue on and flip over. This has one bundle here and another bundle here. And I'm going to back up just a smidge. These stars here, if you notice on my, did you see this sheet? These stars I mentioned that can be used on all different projects, not just ones in this suite here. Can you imagine it on the top of a Christmas tree? Or maybe over here somewhere there's a disco ball. Can you imagine that with that? So I think there's tons of potential to use a lot of these items with all kinds of other things in this catalog and the annual catalog. So I have shown you some of these things already, so I'm just going to be real quick. Here is one cased right from the catalog, right from there. And there's that one. This one is using the camel from this one right here, and Joy and Peace comes from here. So a very simple one. The embossing in the background is from the Hybrid embossing folder, which unfortunately has been so popular in the pre-ordered that it is sold out right now. But don't worry, it is coming back in stock. So no worries about that. It will come back. All right, so we're going to just keep going. Where am I going to next? The metallic right here, the metallic enamel effects. You might have missed this. So this is another, did you see this? And it's actually found in the annual catalog. But how you can use it, for example, it makes a 3D kind of effect, and you just put little drops of the liquid and let it dry, and you've got the 3D effect, and it is there forever. And then another, did you notice, which I missed actually until just the last day or so, these little buildings here, you can cut them out with the Let's Go Shopping dies in the annual catalog. So there's another thing that that's pretty important to take note of. So I am in love with these tree dies. I haven't got them yet, but they are on my list, and I suspect I'll be getting them fairly soon. And here again, another great set. But when you look at this page, your eye might be drawn to the words, but look at these dies. These dies are intricate. For me, they're not just Christmas. They could be for almost any season. And remember, when you're looking at your dies, don't hesitate to turn them upside down too and see what else you might see, or turn them sideways. So just a little something to think about. Right here on page 22, 23, another fun suite that's been extremely popular, and I really love this embossing folder here, but I wanted to bring our attention to this. Did you see these? Because they might be something you would pass over, and I would suggest that you need to take a second look, because they are the Memories and More cards, and then the Memories and More cards and envelopes. So let's look at the cards and envelopes here first. Just, sorry, I've got things kind of, I thought I was organized, but so there are 10 of each designs. There's 2 designs. So you get the cards. The cards are already scored. They already have this color on them. All you need to do is give them a fold, and you've got a card that can open like that or like that. And they're a little bigger than a regular size card. So let's bring back, say, this size. So you can see they're the same width, but they're a little longer. But the envelopes are made to fit them, so you're all set, and the envelopes come with them. So here is the envelope that goes with the red one here. So when I fold the envelope closed, we've got these little trees on the front, and then this on the back, and even the liner. So isn't that cute? Just like that. And the same with the blue. So we've got the blue. It looks a bit like a snowflake wash in the background. And then the envelope has these snowflakes on the front, and you've got it just like that. So whether you're a seasoned stamper, a beginner stamper, or a stamper that's on the go in a bit of a rush, I would suggest this might be just what you want. The card base is made for you. And then if you bring in the Memories and More cards, they come in 2 sizes. So there's this size, which is 3 by 4, I believe. yes, 3x4. And then there's this size. So you've got all these different designs. And then there's another set of designs on the back. Woo, and let's just throw them around a little bit. So they're great. They're great for scrapbooking. They're great for card making. They're great for putting a little note in somebody's lunchbox or something like that. And then they have the bigger ones. Just take this cardboard off the back. And so we've got all of these designs here. Whoops, like that. I'm just going to put those away to the side. And then we've got these on this side. So again, it's like having a set of designer paper, but it's just a little bit thicker than designer paper. And then you also get stickers. So we get 2 sheets of this style and 2 sheets of this style. So you say, okay, I see that's really neat, but I might have trouble putting it together. Let's just give it a little bit of a try here. Let's take this card. Let's bring in this paper. Now what you could do is you could actually just layer this on. Notice how they're cut, how they're designed. This layers on here beautifully. You could just stop right there and there's a card, right? We're actually going to flip it over and use this side like that. And then we're going to bring in this card here and put it there. And we can add dimensionals, we could add ribbon and that kind of thing. But you've got your basic card, and then when you open it up, we could have this on the inside, and we have a card all ready to go. So just so it gets your brain working a little bit, you get to see how those cards all work beautifully together. So I think that's a really a key did you see item right there. All right, so now let's keep going to, right here. Look at this. Now, what does it mean when it goes like that? That means this one is actually reduced in size. Most of our stamps are actual size. These are actual size. This one is not because it's so large. So this gives you a little picture of what it would look in actual size. This is actually 50%. So this stamp covers up a whole card with one fell swoop. So there's another way to have a nice quick background, add an embellishment, a greeting, and you're set to go. All right. And now let's flip over to this page here. I absolutely love this. I love the Noel. I'm tempted to get it just for the Noel, but I love so much about it. And there's gorgeous paper and stuff. But look at down here. Did you happen to see? Did you see what they did with this ribbon? They took your blends and colored the ribbon to change the color. So there's a little tip. So our catalogs are not only full of amazing product and amazing ideas, but they're chock full of little tips and tricks as well. So, seen so many gorgeous cards made with the tree stamp. Yes, I have too. It's pretty neat. So here's some more that just shows those things in more detail. All kinds of fun things happening here. And let me just see. 32. This is where I was coming. So did you see the little thumbtack here? Remember we said the icons are important? Here's another little tip and trick. So if here's the tip here. If on the deboss side of the embossing folder, you can add ink. And then when you run the paper through the embossing folder, you get inked images. So here is the embossing folder they're using here. It's just kitty corner. So there is another little tip and trick. So page 34. Page 34. Did you notice, and this is one that I didn't notice my first few times through. Did you notice this here? Because they've got the card made here, you almost lose it. But it's the brushed gold cards and envelopes. So let me just bring those in. So the cards come and they look like this and they're scored. So when you fold it, you have this really neat gold swish. You know me, I like my swishes. So you can do it with the fold at the top or the fold at the side. And then the envelope carries on that swishing type of thing. So here would be the front of your envelope. Here is the back, just like that. So this to me is just a quick and easy thing to have on hand for any season. You could make this for an anniversary card, you could make it for a birthday card, or you could make it into Christmas cards or Thanksgiving or fall or anything. And because they're already cut, scored, and you've got the envelopes, you're halfway there. You just have to add very little else and you have a super project all set to go. How many are there? There are 20 card bases and 20 envelopes. So you would have enough to make 20 cards. If you like to give card sets as a gift, this would be a really neat way to have a uniform kind of look, and then you can just change what you put on it. But to me, this is a really fabulous thing to have on hand in your stockpile for all kinds of occasions. So how many of you missed seeing that there? What would you use yours for? How can you see that the brushed gold cards and envelopes being used? Just wondering. This is another beautiful suite that is really catching on. Everybody's pretty excited about it. The paper's gorgeous, and this is nice paper too, shiny specialty paper. This ribbon right now is one of my favorites. It is a sheer ribbon with a silver edge, and it is just so easy to work with, and it seems to go with almost everything. So I'm loving that there. So just wanted to point that out. And now on my Did You See sheet, we're going to flip along over. Whoops, no, I want to stop because I've been forgetting to show you some of the samples. So press pause. I forgot samples up till now, so I need to stop and show you some, and then I'll show you the samples here. So I received this card in a swap, so it's a 3-dimensional card, and it is using the Night Divine set, and you would write on the back. And this was made by Linda Baker, so there's that one there. Here's one made with the trees, and notice the embossing folder in the background as well, and it was even used on this here. So another really neat one. And this was one that I was really excited to show you, and I totally forgot. The Memories and More cards, this person stuck the card together. So they turned it into a pocket card. So they sealed all of the edges except one end. They did this on the front, and then, whoops, they used the snowflakes. Let's back up. I didn't even mention the snowflakes, or did I? They're just forward here a bit, maybe. That's what reminded me that I needed to be, yeah, so the snowflakes here in the new snowflake punch, they did that so that's your pull tab, and it's a gift card holder. So they've done it like that. So I thought that was very, very smart. I really liked how they did that. So there was that. And then here was one with that Noel suite back there. So I love this die here too. So pretty, gorgeous paper. So sorry about that. I didn't want to put all the cards in the book because I thought it would be too bulky, and I thought for sure I would remember to show you everything, but of course I did not. And I have just back up in your brain a little bit to the polar bears. So I made this little belly band around some cookies for my Christmas in August class. So each person had this at their spot. So it's really easy to have some fun with those polar bears. The fa la la paper is from right up near the beginning of the book. Here's a little polar bear tag that you could easily make. Yes, there's even a stamp that makes the scarves, so you can make different colored scarves as you want. And then right towards the back of the book, right here, there's some more polar bear samples. So I had to recreate those too. So lots of fun with the polar bear there. There, we've caught up with our samples, and now we are here. And so I've got a couple of things to show you. So we'll just flip over the page because here's the stamp set here. And I received this card in a swap, and you notice the circle is all bumpy. We're going to be seeing something about that. These are gorgeous, gorgeous little elements here, and they are quite flat. So I'm thinking that these are those. I haven't got them yet, but they're nice and flat. They're like a sequin, so they're pretty easy to mail. And then this ribbon is so sparkly, plus it's velvety, just fun to touch. So this was done by Sue. So we thank you, Sue, for that great sample. And we have another sample from this suite done by Karen. And this is a really neat fun fold card. If you see, it goes like that. But this is from the stamp right there up. And this is the paper, so it coordinates beautifully. So when you open it up, you see this, and then you see this, and it stands up like that. So love the fold, Karen, thank you. And I love the card. So now let's continue on. Now while we're here, I'm going to show you one other card that I received in a swap. And when it comes in an envelope, it looks like this. But when you pull here, this is a fun fold, and it goes like that. So just lots of fun kind of alternative there. So I think now this snowflake isn't from this set here. This snowflake would be from the Très Chic set, I believe. But I love how the punch makes this kind of design, sort of like a tag topper like that, and gorgeous stamps here. So there is that one there, and let's continue on. And for those of you who have skiers in your life, you might like that one there. This is great because it can be little treat boxes. You can have them individually, you can put them together, or you can put a whole bunch together and create Advent. We had some Advent boxes a few years ago. These are actually bigger, so you may enjoy that. This, I've talked about this suite a few times. It's so nice to be able to share the spread with you. Gorgeous paper. This paper actually went out of stock this morning. It was so popular, but it will be back in stock next week. So no worries. It's not going to be gone for long. And we have a few cards made with this. So I've shown you this one here. This is made with the designer paper. This one we did in, whoops, upside down, in a Facebook Live. And got a couple more here. So here's one here where the paper's just coming through the window, and then some of the paper was used on the leaves. And this one here is actually using the dies that go with this and the gorgeous ribbons. So it all coordinates, and then this paper is the background. Fabulous, fabulous. All righty. And let's continue on. Here we have the Rustic Crate bundle. Now this bundle here, there's a little crate here, and it actually makes a crate. I'm going to show you that in a minute. But if you look at this, you can see that this is good for all seasons of the year. You're not locked into just Christmas. Yes, there's poinsettias. Yes, there's sunflowers and corn and pumpkins, which maybe speaks autumn. But this also could be any season of the year. And again, with the words, they could be for any season of the year. So I think this is a good investment. Whenever I can see stamp set and dies that work for many occasions, I always like that. And notice, did you notice it shows you how things from the annual catalog work with it? So this is the pecan pie bordered ribbon. So for that, I received this swap from Marilyn. So you can see she's even made the basket. I just absolutely love this, what she's done with this one. And then she also very generously gave me this swap as well. And this is a catalog case. So it is actually this card right here. You can see there they are right there. And it looks amazing too. So you can see very definitely that is for any season. But also notice how she did the background. What she got in the background? She used the crate stamp and created that whole wood texture background. So I think that's quite brilliant. I am so impressed. And I buried my did you see list. And one of the things that you may have missed is this here. Did you see these decorative masks? I loved masks. I'm using them more and more all the time, as some of you know. But these ones, some of them actually layer to make these gorgeous sunflowers. But there are also snowflakes here and some leaves and some designs. So there's all kinds of things you can do with that. And the price point is just $14.50. So it's a very inexpensive way to add to your crafting supply. And did you notice the little thumbtack here? The sunflower ones are actually numbered so that you would be able to put them down in the right order as you're doing your blending and sponging on top. The other thing, just before we go on, is this stamp set here. The words are absolutely fabulous. Judy, you heard that a bunch of things are sold out already. Well, there are some, but there's lots that aren't. Like anything else, whether you're shopping from Amazon or wherever, it's while supplies last. But most of them will be back in stock next week or very shortly. So no panic there. They're working hard at getting them back in. But that's how excited everybody is about this catalog. This catalog has created more excitement than I could ever imagine, that people have fallen in love with it. So that is what's pretty great. So over the page to the Halloween, we have something brand new. We have glow-in-the-dark embellishments and glow-in-the-dark paper, specialty paper. So, and they actually do. I've seen people have the paper there or the embellishments there, turn the lights out, and they glow in the dark. It's fabulous. So your brain likely is going 100 miles an hour on that as well. You've seen me show you a few samples from the Pick Up the Patch. I had this little one here, the 3x3 card, a while back. And I also received this card in a swap from Brenda Nelson. I've got some more cards coming with this. There's the punch. So just a little heads up. If there's a punch included, or if you're wanting a punch, they tend to sell out quickly, and they're hard to get back in stock because they come from overseas and they're really heavy. They can't throw them on a plane. Some of the things are made in North America, so they have more control and they're able to get them back in stock more quickly. But punches, no. So one of the punches are on your list. I would get it sooner rather than later. Okay. And here, the garden walk, I have to admit, I didn't really look too closely at it. But look at this neat swap card that I received. And look at how she used the punch. The punch is like a oval rectangle or something like that. I'm not exactly sure how you would explain it, but then she used just a portion of it and raised it up like that. So really, really neat. The stamps layer so you can get this neat effect here. And this is from Donna. Donna W. I've forgotten her last name, but again, a really effective card. So lots of fun there, and again, some great embellishments, that kind of thing. And you can see more ideas here. And did I miss one here? No, I didn't. Then we've got this here, the Dazzle paper. Did you see that? It's from the annual catalog, but it really works well with a lot of these projects. Alrighty, over the page here, and we see the translucent florals. And I've shown you several different samples from the translucent florals, like this one that we made in the Facebook Live, or showed in the Facebook Live the other night. Then there's this one. This is a distinctive stamp, so you're going to get the lights and darks all in one stamp, and that is really, really neat. If you find you're having troubles with your distinctive stamps, maybe your pad is too inky, take, I don't know, something that won't cut your pad. I often use just a plastic spoon and just use this part of the spoon. Push the ink to the side, or maybe don't push too hard, and then stamp, or even stamp off once, and you'll get some really neat effects. The dies really work well with vellum or to make gorgeous flowers. And then there's this here, and then this is one over the top one that I received as a swap. So it is, there's vellum, there's embossing, there's a little bit of twine, there's all kinds of things on this card that just really make it gorgeous. And it is also a fancy fold. This was done by Robin Fulbrook, and so there you go. So if you like the over the top, there is an example of that to get you inspired. Now, these here, so many of you have heard that the Today Stampin' Up! Also did a special release of 5 extra designer papers, or packages of designer paper on the online exclusives. And look at these. These are included. And do you recognize them? They go pair with this beautifully. So you might want to check it out on the online exclusives. Alrighty, better move along here. Okay. Here, I've got a sample of this I received. It is this right here. So yes, there is a die that cuts out, I don't know, it looks like it's stamped, but it isn't. It is cut out, and there's also the little dots, so it's all kinds of detail, and that is right down here. So it's wishing you a happy new year, but it's also a celebration for any occasion. So do you like fireworks? I think you might like this. Just a fun card, and this was done by Cheryl Hall. So thank you, Cheryl, for that. And we're going to flip along. And this one here, I love this stamp set in that we cover all the different seasons and special occasions, so many of them. This sample here, well, this was one I would say, did you see this, to a friend, because this has caught my eye, and I'm going to have to make some version of that. I also love this card right here. I don't know. So what's a card that's caught your eye that you would like to just maybe case from this catalog? Is there one that's caught your eye? Let me know in the comments. All right, this here, this is the Deckled Circles dies. These are amazing, and they were actually, I think, at the very top of my list. And that is these right here, and there are actually 14 dies. And yes, some of them are huge, but they go from huge to tiny. And you can do all kinds of things with this. You can cut them, you can fold them, you can use them on any kind of projects, whether it's scrapbooking or card making, that kind of thing. I've used it, you've seen me use it on a few things, just trying to find places to put stuff. But here is my most recent one, and you are the first to see it. Here I used half of a one on this card here. So that's, I just cut it down. So just lots of fun. I'm getting these prepared for something I need down the road here. And so that's what that's all about. And let's, oh, this to me, did you see this set here? I have to admit that I went through this catalog many times and didn't even hardly glance at this set. And then I saw some samples being shared and I took another look at it. Now, there's a punch that comes with it, and it's this punch here. So it's a bundle, and you can join that punch together. So you can make a curvy road and have a car that travels down it, that kind of thing. But let me just show you. I decided that I would, well, I have to admit, I cased it. Another demonstrator did a series on these, and I had to be inspired by her. So here is the car. So just stamped the car on a circle, and I punched out several of these and just glued them down on the paper to create the background. And then I carried that kind of theme right through. So here is the disco ball, and that sometimes I stamped here going that way, and sometimes I flipped it over. So they're basically all the same design, so that you can see each image like that. Now you could do other things with it too. I'm trying to remember the demonstrator that I saw, Ruth Norton. So big thanks to Ruth Norton for those ideas. And then Shannon West shared this here. So again, this is a stamp set that's not limited to a season. It is for all kinds of different things. And I really, really like that. And then I made one over the top little thing. So this shimmer paper is from the annual catalog, and the die is from the annual catalog. But then I did this. So here's a fancy schmancy little pen too. Wouldn't that be fun to give to somebody? So just getting your brain going a little bit. And here's a great thermos one here. Then the other thing that, did you see this, is always make sure that you check the index at the back. This is the bundle index, and look at this. You get even more samples to look at and to choose from. And the other thing is the catalog at a glance. So here is the index of the stamps, an index of the dies, index of the embossing folders. Oh, maybe I should share some embossing folders with you. I don't have them all, but you know me, I'll end up getting them all. So the hybrid embossing folder right here, this is what it looks like when you do it on metallic. And here's because it's hybrid, it also will cut out. So you can, those 3 stars. So that's why it's a super duper embossing folder. It does more than one thing. The other one that I have used quite a bit is the snowflake one. So again, there it is in white, and there it is in the silver. You can see that it starts with denser snowflakes and then gets lighter. So you can use it whichever way you want, whether you want the snow to be thick at the top and light at the bottom, or vice versa. There's a little controversy. Which way is it? Should the snow be thicker at the top or thicker at the bottom? Let us know. I would love to know that. So I don't have these these 2 yet, but I do have the cheery patterns. And what those are, they're the 2 mini embossing folders. They'll fit in your minis cut and emboss. and they look like that. So let's take a closer look. So the one makes sort of random circles, and they aren't perfect, so they're just relaxed, so they make a really neat effect. And then there's this kind of curvy one, and you will have seen these both used throughout the catalog. So speaking of that, sometimes I do that. I think, okay, where is this used in the catalog? And I go on a catalog hunt and look for all the different things that use that particular item. So that's another neat way to look at the catalog. And then over here, you're going to see all your designer papers and a bit more. So there are actually gift card envelopes available in the catalog. You might have missed it. I often find things in the index and think, oh, I missed that, need to go back and find it. So this is another way of checking that out. And then your punches and your embellishments and your ribbons, they're all just at a glance. So it's just lots of fun. Then remember, if you have a party, or if you have sales, or if you have an order that's over $200, you have earned the right to be able to buy this if you want. You do not have to, but if you want to, you can, and you get it at a reduced value. So instead of paying $35 for it, that's the value, you would pay $21. And this here are gorgeous frames that you could use on different cards. So remember that as you're doing your orders and collecting items, that kind of thing. The other thing is you can join Stampin' Up! And just be part of something more. And remember, there are still samples here. Being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator is still the best deal in the book, always has been, and likely always will. So if you're interested in that, give me a call or email or message, whatever. And did you see this paper? That paper is hand painted and then photographed for the designer paper. So did you see anything new in here? Or what was your did you see aha moment? What are you liking? What was at the top of your list? What maybe wasn't at the top of your list when you initially looked through the catalog but moved up? So let us know some of your thoughts, your likes, what you're excited about. And I'm so glad that you joined me, or that you're watching the replay, whether here on Facebook or YouTube. I really appreciate that. If you want to see these things so that you can see them larger on screen, remember you can go to my website and click on Shop Now. If you do choose to shop with me, I would welcome you. The hostess code right now is this one right here. So thank you so much for that. And I, again, want to appreciate you and thank you for joining me today. Take care, everyone, and bye-bye.